Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior, or founding father.
It's also the name of participants in our program, the program that we developed out of our own personal journey and experience, our own trials and tribulations, going through a prison experience for 15 years.
Poverty, entitlement mentality, all these things that we were, in a place of selfishness. We came out of penitentiary, out of poverty, with something so powerful that will not only transformed our lives, but has been able to transform thousands of other lives.
And so today on TYRO TV, we hope that you're going to be inspired by listening to personal stories and hearing tips and tools of things you can do right now to make your dreams come true. And that's why we're super, super excited to welcome on our show today, David Sims. Hey, David, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, David Sims comes from Toledo, Ohio, and we're going to get to hear his story, what he gets to do, and why he gets to do what he do. And it's amazing to meet this young man and not only hear his ambitions and his dreams, but to actually see him making them happen.
So let's get started with a little bit, which is a little bit of teaser. So what are we planning together right now?
We are planning our fifth annual, the fifth?
Yeah.
It's fifth annual Catch with Dad event with the Toledo Mud Hens, July 16th.
Nice, yeah, we're pumped, we're excited.
We're super excited. I think it's June, right?
It is June.
June 16th.
It is June. Father's Day is in June, yes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
June, July,
But you know what though, and I'm gonna put this in, my first experience with Catch with Dad, I cried. I want to cry now, because I remember it the first time ever with my sons on the actual ball diamond. A place where we're in the stands, or when we never went to a game as kids, but you never see yourself. You could live in this community all your life, but you never see yourself going on that diamond or in that grass and playing baseball, because that's for them. It's never for us. It's never for me, right?
And so we are really, really excited about our partnership. We're excited about what we're doing with David, but we're also super excited for the things that David has overcome in his own life and where he's headed and what he gets to do now.
So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions. To own it, you'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And today we're talking about Catch with Dad and I guess a legacy being formed.
That's right. Today we have with us not only a special guest, but a dear friend of ours that we've been able to really figure out each other's jobs and dreams and how to make each other successful. And today, David Sims is with us from Toledo, Ohio.
That's right.
Not only representing David Sims, but Toledo Mud Hens.
So, dude, tell us a little bit about what you do right now. What is your job?
Oh, well, right now I work for the Toledo Mud Hens and Toledo Walleye. Same front office. I'm in Toledo minor league sports, and I'm in the ticket department where I sell season tickets and group tickets to different companies and organizations throughout the
awesome.
Toledo and Michigan area.
Nice. So you're like community affairs.
More of it depends on, I work with community outreach organizations, and I also work with companies and individuals.
Yeah.
So
In schools?
Yeah.
There's another person in our department who works specifically with schools. But
wow, that's so cool.
Right,
So it's like specialized.
yes.
Very cool.
Wow.
So you're like business to business, business to
Business to
community.
business to community. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yep,
Which is how we met.
Right. That is, yep. So
That's-
when you all did your event in previous years, the rep you were working with was no longer at the organization. I was grateful to get, that's how we met.
Awesome.
Wow,
Very
that's wonderful.
cool. So tell us a little bit. So we had the privilege of actually hearing your story of how you kind of navigated through life. Can you tell us a little bit about like growing up and your story?
Okay, yeah, sure. My name is David. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My mother, single parent. Early on in life, my father was incarcerated. He went to prison twice.
So David, let me stop you right there.
Okay.
You said your dad was in prison, so you grew up without your dad.
Yeah, so my dad was early. I forget the ages because that's I was a kid, So when I was a kid, so he was in jail twice, but we still had a relationship. So he was in, but by the time he got out, it was at an age where I was still old enough I knew what was going on, but I didn't really know everything that was going on.
So when your dad came out, did your mom and him get reconnected? Did they try it again? Did they live together, or it didn't work? What happened?
So my mother and father, they were married. I'm actually adopted.
Okay.
So I was adopted at 3 months. My mother and father were married. So when my father went to prison the first time, that they had got a divorce. So when they got a divorce, and once he came out of jail, they didn't get back together, but my mother still kept that channel of communication open so me and him can have that healthy relationship.
Wow.
So
That's
so
that
we
was
still have a
before the
relationship.
first time he went to. So the second time he went to prison, then what happened? I mean,
I was still a kid back then, but so when it was all over, like when he was out and he was free, we still had that relationship.
Okay.
So him and my mother and all, we lived one place and he lived in Chicago, and
And you
we
still
had that
contact with
relationship.
your dad. Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So did you get a chance ever to visit your dad in prison, or it was just when he came out?
No, it was more phone calls.
Phone calls.
Yeah, I was a kid. Like I was saying,
Right.
I think I remember a couple phone calls, but it wasn't any of going in and visiting or anything like that.
so let me ask you this, David. What prevented you from becoming a statistic? I mean, chances you're in Chicago,
Right.
your dad's in prison
Twice.
twice.
Right,
Your
yeah.
mom is just single mom raising
Right.
you. Was there any other kids in the house?
No, I'm
You're the only
child.
So she's focused on you. But what kept you from joining a gang? Rebellion,
Getting caught
getting
up in something.
angry,
Yeah.
and just being disruptive. And because I mean, a child growing up without a dad is tough.
Right. So it was. I give a lot of the credit to my mother for building that foundation and making sure that she just wanted the best for me. So she just wanted to put me in the best situations so I can succeed. So, even though we all deal with things. So
Right.
even though we were in the situation that we were, she still tried to put me in the best position to succeed. So that's getting involved in sports and and I was a smart kid. So just focusing.
So it sounds
on my
like
talents.
what I hear you saying is she made sure she kept you away. She was protecting
Kept you busy and involved.
Yeah,
Right.
involved, and where you couldn't get
Right.
bored and go out and start wandering the streets.
Let me find something to do.
Exactly. 'Cause
That's
originally-
awesome.
Yeah, because originally we were on the south side of Chicago, so we moved to the suburbs, about 10 minutes away from Chicago, but just to try to get to
little
so
space.
some of those
Different environment.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. So what sports did you play?
I played baseball. I started off playing soccer, but then I started playing baseball, and I played all sports really, but baseball was
Like your love? Or?
right.
Yeah, it was your
right,
passion.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that translate well into working with the Toledo Mud Hens?
It really does, actually, because we have baseball and hockey. But of the two, baseball is one of my favorites. And I think me growing up on baseball is part of that bias.
Yeah.
So how did you? Led you to? You're from Chicago. You were raised there, and you came to Ohio. What brought you to Ohio and land a job? I mean, that's a pretty good gig.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Toledo Mud Hens, and it's a great place to work. It's a great environment.
Yeah.
And downtown Toledo is really thriving. The excitement that's going on there.
Right.
So
how
how'd
did
you
How
get
did I get here?
How'd
Right.
you get from there to
That's
there?
what a lot of people ask me, especially like, "Hey, I'm from Chicago." Like, what? How'd you get here?
Yeah.
They say you'll do
Because
better in
Chicago-
Toledo.
Right here, because Chicago's big and it's busy. It's moving.
Right. So I graduated from Eastern Illinois 2013, got my undergrad in sports management. Then took a year off and worked with a nonprofit, Introspect Youth Services. So I did post-secondary placement, getting kids back into college.
Oh, nice.
So I did that for a year. But I knew I wanted to go and further my education, so I went to Bowling Green University. Got my master's
in Bowling Green, Ohio.
in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Nice.
Yes, I got my master's in that in sports administration. So,
Oh, cool.
and while I was doing that, I was interning with the Mud Hens and the Walleye. So, doing the fun stuff, doing the T-shirts and getting the people in the crowd.
Cool.
Yeah, doing all the fun
Wow.
stuff. So it was fun to work there. So,
So you were like a rock star.
right. I got to be on the field. So
Yeah.
everyone thought I was a rock star.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
So
Wow.
while doing that, I was able to solidify a position opened up, and I was already with the organization, and I took that
awesome.
opportunity.
So you
Very cool.
didn't mind shining. You got there and you was gonna do the best intern you can
Right.
because you saw a possible future.
Right.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we're going to take a short break.
Okay.
But when we come back, we're going to hear more from David, hear more about his story, more about what he does now, and more about Catch with Dad. So stay
Man.
tuned. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And we are having a great time here with David Sims. In between segments, we've been learning about one another, growing, and just really excited and privileged and honored to have you here with us, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Man.
So what made you, once you got your bachelor's and what even
You got a
inspired you?
master's.
Yeah, but after his bachelor's,
Yeah.
before his master's, what made you say, you know what, I want to continue my education and get my
Oh,
master's?
good question.
It goes back to the foundation from my mother. Is that education was instilled in me at a very young age. So I knew that I wanted to further my education. So it was just a matter of finding the means to do so. So I did what I had to do.
Oh, that's
So you had to hustle, man. You
Right.
had to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs.
So I got a solidified a graduate assistantship, so they were able to pay for my tuition. Because I know I did.
that's awesome.
The hard work I did in undergrad was able to put me in a position to, to be able to solidify one of those graduate assistantships. So I was able to, because no one wants more debt. So I already
Right.
had my debt.
Right.
And, we're more of a middle class, low middle class. So I didn't qualify for a lot of those scholarships and grants and stuff like that. So I
Right.
had to find
Yeah.
a way. So
Right.
Well, good for you.
Well,
Right.
and good for your mom.
Good,
Right.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, this is going to sound like, but the fact that you didn't qualify for many grants means your mom was working really hard.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she did.
She worked really hard. And so as you went and you got your master's, and you started your internship with the Toledo Mud Hens, I mean, what is it that really fuels passion in you? What is it you really want to do?
And so I want to be in sports. I'm kind of combining everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially it's funny because everything we talked about is all I want to be in sports, and I also, I also want to give back. I want to. And me trying, and when you ask that question, there's a lot of different roles I can do that in. So I'm still figuring that out as far as that end goal, but that I like working with people. I like talking with people. I like helping them, accomplish what they're trying to do. And I like sports as well. That's why, a lot of, especially my resume, a lot of it is service oriented.
Nice, nice. Well, I tell you what, David. When I first met you and you came and you greeted us there at the Mud Hens, and just you were the passion in your eyes that you love what you do. You love seeing people's lives changed,
Right.
and you love seeing them transformed right there at the ball diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what that's supposed to do. That experience
Right.
that your job is to create for dad and the kids and the moms and the
Or
families.
anybody.
Right?
Exactly.
Your job is to create an experience that they live and they carry for them, that they want to come back and do it again.
Right.
Right.
And that's one of those are the core values of the Mud Hens and the Wallet organization.
Yeah.
And that's, as an intern, we call it fanatical experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
So
I love that.
that was instilled in us as an intern so my job was literally to go to make sure that everyone else there had fun.
Wow.
You know, and
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
It was great. So
Yeah.
that's why, the organization, that's why I think our partnership really aligns well, because, we're family friendly,
Yeah.
with the community. Those are our goals, and you have very
Yes.
similar goals.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's just
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
all right.
It
we
is a
love
great
it
fit.
because
Right.
as we've talked, we're talking about really reinstilling the American dream, and part of the American dream is baseball.
Right.
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie,
The whole works.
The whole works. And so showing up at Mud Hens, it just I really felt. The first time that we did catch with that, and you were there, and the boys were grown, but you
Yep.
were still playing catch,
Yep.
and it was just like. It reminded me, wow, we're not so far removed from the American dream.
Yep.
I can have it too.
Yep. And I mean, cut you off, babe. I reliving that first experience.
Yeah.
What I felt is what I want for every dad who's incarcerated today to feel, to get that experience, to have that opportunity. My sons were grown, but you know what? I was out there with my boys, and now I'm watching my oldest son with his son, right out there, and he has a daughter, and him with this little girl out there playing catch. Our daughter out there,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
playing catch, and our other son, he's got 2 girls, and he's going to get to experience that with one of his little girls now, because she was a baby then. Be out there on the diamond.
Yeah.
That legacy, that memory that we're creating in not only in ourselves, but to able to empower others to help. And we thank you for that.
Yeah,
Because that's what
yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's when we first started working together, and we talked a little bit, and I shared a story of when my father was when he got out, that we used to play catch, because at that time that was when I was getting into baseball. So he never played baseball before, so but he went out and bought a mitt. Big, huge mitt. I think he bought a softball. But I mean, just that.
He didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah.
So he bought that. He used to help me. We live right across the street from the park. I used to play catch with him right there. He helped me with pitching because I was only child, so I had to play with people on the block. But he saw that one of my interests was baseball, and that's what I remember. Right, that's what I remember. I don't
That's awesome.
remember, like I said,
The bad stuff.
the best. That's what I remember. And that moment. So that's why when we were doing this event, and you were doing this event, it kind of like that's why I really value the event that you all do, because I remember those moments with my dad when I used to play catch with my dad. Now
Right.
put it all on the field.
And
Just perfect.
And one of the things I love about you, David, is that so you had no idea, and it's like looking at you, meeting you, and experiencing your joy and your passion for life. Nobody would ever say, "Wow, he had a dad that was in prison,"
Right.
and
Or you were raised in a single home.
yeah.
Right.
And so much we see kids that wear that. And the work that we do is dads are in prison and they wear it. And because that pain is so great, because mom and dad aren't creating the life for their kids because they feel like they've lost their chance, that they struck out and this is it, and they just sit down and give up. And your mom and dad didn't do that.
No.
Your mom didn't do that, your dad didn't do that, and you were a product of that. And I love that, because society would have said, if they had seen your dad's name in the paper and they would have seen you on 5 or 4 or 3, whatever, standing there, they would have said, "Oh, that poor boy, he's never going to amount to anything." And it was like, no, you know what? I am loved, I am cared for, and my parents are investing in me while they still figure their own stuff out.
Yep.
Right.
And I love that. That is
Yep.
such a story of triumph.
And that's the American dream, the
Yeah.
American story, because America loves an underdog. And I say this all the time.
Even if he doesn't know he's an underdog.
Yeah,
Right?
you
Which
don't
is
even-
awesome.
But you,
I like it even better.
You overcame, and you know what? Your mom is amazing.
Yeah.
Because she empowered you to continue to dream despite
Right.
what was the reality that you were existing in. But she was showing you, look, this doesn't have to, your story doesn't end here,
Right.
right? She empowered you to write your story. And that's what we tell dads all the time. Look, there's life after penitentiary, man. Your story is not over, Dad. This Toledo Mud Hen experience of playing catch with your kids, this is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Because
And even though, like, you're probably sitting there thinking, well, I can't take my kids to Toledo Mud Hens because I am still locked up. But we're talking about creating that experience for your kids, even in the midst of this journey, and working towards getting to the place, even if your kids are adults, of making sure that you're making that connection on the other side. So we have to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about how you can do that. David's going to share some tips and things that you can do on the outside. He's going to talk about things that maybe you can even do inside. So you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And today we are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time with Mr.
Yes, we are.
with David Sims of Toledo Mud Hens and the Toledo Walleyes, and from Toledo, Ohio.
All right. And
First,
so,
the Mud Hens and the Walleye, I'm
Yeah.
not sure if people are familiar with,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
with the, so the Mud Hens is the AAA baseball team for the Tigers. So
Oh, yeah, you know,
for
that's a
the
good point.
Detroit
Detroit
Tigers.
Tigers.
That's right.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
that's big time stuff where I come from.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the Toledo Walleye is the hockey team that's affiliate of the Detroit Red Wings.
Really?
That was
I
hard
didn't
to say.
even know that.
Red Wings.
Red-
Yeah.
So you're saying that, okay, so
Especially
I get the,
Detroit
yeah.
Red Wings. You have to slow
Right,
down for
right.
that.
So I get
Yeah.
that the AAA baseball,
Right.
right, which is Toledo Mud Hens, and so when Detroit Tigers is looking for their new players, they go down there and they call it. They're gonna bring them up to the big show.
They bring them up to the
Big show, right? So you're saying that Detroit Detroit Red Wings is Toledo Walleyes?
Yeah, so
Triple A
they're
team?
the double A team.
Oh, they're double A?
So there's one more level above that. in the
Oh,
AHL.
okay.
Yep, mhm.
Wow, that's cool.
So the Walleye players at Toledo have to advance.
They got to grind.
One
Yeah.
They
more
got to
time,
one
yeah.
more time.
One more time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mud Hens, they're right there.
Yeah.
I love what you said. They got to
That's
grind.
cool.
They got to
Yeah.
hustle. They got to
That's
work.
right.
Right.
Yeah, bring your A game every day.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah.
Or you get
so
cut.
if
Right.
if you want your dream to come true, you can't relax.
No.
No, it is like every day you are strapping up those boots and
Yeah.
getting out there and getting the work done.
I love you say how that stated, baby. Strapping.
Strapping up those boots, baby. All right,
That's some
so,
good stuff.
Yeah, so
Right.
let's talk. You talked earlier. You said that that you don't really think about it, and like you don't really have memories about your dad being in prison. You knew he was in prison,
Right.
but like it doesn't define your childhood.
Right.
But that like your best memory or the things that really meant something to you and that you cherish are like him actually playing catch with you.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit more about that, about things, especially for these dads, especially for you guys. Listen carefully, listen closely, was closely and carefully together. So listen, because the things that he's going to share are things that really can help you create that experience for your own kids.
And now I also want to share, listen, Dad, if you have a dad who's incarcerated,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know, this is about that, about reconnecting and figuring out how can we make this work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we know pain and suffering, you know, they're our greatest teachers, but there's also another guy named healing.
And joy.
Yeah.
Let's find joy in the journey.
Yep.
So share your joy in the journey with us.
Okay. So like as I shared one of the memories, and that's one of the key, like those memories, like people, especially when it comes with the relationships with the family and the father and their kids, like those memories. So whatever situation you're in, if you're incarcerated, there's still time to make those good memories. Yes, whatever situation, yes, there are some bad ones as well. But like I said, I don't remember, his number or anything or whatever. I just remember the good, the memories, like what he did, what actions speak louder than words, really. So.
That's good. Actions speak
louder
louder
than words, really, because that's when I think back. And actually, after we had our event, I actually, me and my father was out here in Toledo, and we met at IHOP, and I actually told him some of those memories because it kind of, after doing this event, I remember those, but I don't ever think I've told him
communicated.
like, hey, I remember this, and like a thank you, like this is what I, because
that's powerful,
right? Because I know I would assume that it was hard, as a father when you come out. And you have to deal with you have to, those relationships that you had, you have to
fix them
with everyone, not just with your friend, with everyone.
Yeah.
So especially the ones with your kids, I would assume that those are real precious.
Absolutely.
So I didn't hold anything back, and that's why I want to let the dads know as well. Like there's just because you're in the situation that you're in, it doesn't mean that your family or anyone that you had a relationship with is not going to that you still can't have that relationship. That's basically what I'm saying. So when he got out, those are those memories. That's what I remember. So what I shared him is the catch, or teaching me how to drive, and teaching me different lessons he's taught me, different things he shared with me. Those are the things I remember, and that's what that's what this event creates, and that's what
So it created. You
that's
had
what defined your relationship.
So you had an impact from the event you helped put on.
Right.
And I know, I'm gonna say this: you didn't know this was gonna happen to you.
No, I really did.
Yeah.
I really did. It started off as just an event.
You had a job, right?
Yeah. And then after the whole event, and I saw it all.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of made me reach out to my dad.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely, yeah.
And so dads, I mean, listen to what David is sharing. I mean, so he reached out to his dad to tell his dad, thank you for investing in my life. And so I know that you want that same story with your kids in order to create, and some of you are just feeling like it's too late for you. You know what, there's nothing you can do to actually make that reconnection and actually get to a place that someday your kids are going to come and say, Dad, thank you so much. But you know what? The truth is, it's not too late. I don't care how old your kids are. I don't care what has happened in the past. You've got a fresh start from today. And all you have to do is begin to make different decisions and put those actions into play.
Yep.
So, Ron, do you want to talk a little bit about what they can do?
Well, listen, guys, the letters, if you even just writing a letter to your son or your daughter and just reminding them, hey, this is not over. I'm going to be home. You know what? The story is not over. There's still time. And of course, we want to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. We want to do those things, but really open a door, open a gateway of an opportunity that when I get home, this is what I'm going to do with you guys. That's something that I was able to do with Blake and Brandon while I was in prison. I started dreaming when I was writing the letters. Now, have we fulfilled all those dreams? No, but we're fulfilling a lot of them.
That's okay, because as long as you are dreaming, you are alive.
Yep.
And your whole life, you want to have a dream that you're striving towards.
And so that's what I was doing, writing letters. We're gonna do this. When I get home, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And the things that now they're grown ups. So maybe some of the things I wrote, we're not gonna do because you're not little anymore.
You don't want to do that anymore.
And so my dreams had to change. When we go, we're gonna learn how to fix a car. We're gonna learn how to buy a car, wax it, and learn how to detail cars. Or you know what? We're gonna learn how to build a house. We're gonna learn how to do these things.
But beyond just dreaming, because dreaming is a lot of talk that's hard for kids to connect to, is right now, if you have the privilege of seeing your kids on visits, then you need to be making sure that you're investing in them during those visits, playing games for them, reading books to them, talking about fun things, and not making it a chore to come and see you. And so, we really talk about what are some things that you think of, like even as they transition out. Like, so what are ways that you think that dads could really engage with their kids, David?
Exactly what you said. I think that, whatever form of communication or what you have in front of you, just start using that, start reaching out, or continue to reach out, continue just building that relationship. So when you're in a position for a better opportunity to go to that next step, that you built that foundation, you know what I'm saying? So when you get out, because when, back to the phone calls, I always, as a kid, I knew, like I said, I don't remember everything, but I knew he was in jail. I knew the situation. Like I was old enough, I knew that he was away. But when he came back, that's what I, not judged him, but that's what I, that's what meant the most to me.
Right.
What he did once he got out. So,
Right.
Like I said, actions speak louder than the words. So whatever you can do, whatever action you do, if you say you're gonna do something, you say you're sorry, you say you're this, you're gonna change, do it. It's as simple as that.
Look how simple that. Whatever you say, just do it. We're talking about it. Just do it.
Listen, dads, this is a great opportunity. I know firsthand experience. I know the hurt and pain. I know the guilt. I know it all. Man, it's not too late. It's not too late, dads, to reach out and just love on your kids. Love on them like you never had before. And this is it.
Right. And that's in whatever form you have. Like you don't, my dad, it's not, the love he gave to me is what he was able to give, the love he had. It's not, there's no set like, oh, you need to, teach your son this. There's not a set, whatever you have to give, to share, to whatever you learn. That's enough.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
that's
It's
a good
not
word, David. That's
right.
a good
It's,
word.
he just, he gave me what he had,
that's a
and
good word.
I appreciate him for it. Like, and that's all.
That's a good word. Well, we have to take another short break. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to give you 3 solid tips of things that you can do right now to invest in your kids' lives. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we have had an amazing experience with Mr. David Sims from Toledo, Ohio, who is employed by Toledo Mud Hens and the Walleyes.
Woohoo!
That's a big deal.
That's right. So, David, we promised them some tips, some things that they can do right now. So what advice would you give to dads that are incarcerated right now? What's one thing they can do?
I would say the first thing is to find out, the kid's interests. What do they like? What are they doing currently?
What's your ambition?
Right. What's your ambitions? Where are you going? Like, where are you dreaming? What are you,
That's a good.
Find out that interest. And
Why is that important?
it's important because when I like I said earlier, what I think my dad, he found that interest. He knew I liked baseball, so that opened up a whole pathway of others. So now, you know, him knowing that I, you know, at least recognizing that I like baseball, that at that time I didn't, you know, even buying the glove and everything, that moment, that at that time it was minute, but now, you know, when I'm older, I'm reflecting, I see, you know, and I can understand and analyze everything. David likes baseball. My son likes baseball. This is how I can get into my son's life. You know,
So he did what the
That's
second
awesome.
one could be, like we were gonna say.
Yeah, the second one is okay. So now you find out what your child's interest is, and the next one, invest in it. And so investing it doesn't mean money; it means time, energy, and effort. And so I love what you said earlier, David, about what you have is enough. If you're not good at baseball and your son likes baseball, start watching it and send information about great players that they can watch. Or you can find articles about baseball players and cut those out of magazines and send it to your son or your daughter. Whatever it is that their interest is, what you have, I love that. It is enough. Give them what you have.
You know, if there's anything I can wrap this up and what I want to do, because Dad, listen, one of the things that David, I asked you earlier, if your dad ever talked down on you, about your mom to you, and your answer was?
No, my father never talked down on my mother, and vice versa. Like my mother, like she kept that channel open. So yes, I knew the situation, but she, you know, I give her credit for allowing him to still be a part of my life and not letting me form my own opinion on my father. You know,
That's awesome. So listen, dads, honor that, right? If all you have to give is that, don't talk down the mama. Right? Because she's the warrior too. She's holding the fort down. She's doing everything that she has to do to keep it together.
And if mom isn't strong in investing in your kids' lives, your kids are going to suffer. And so honor and respect and recognize the important role mom plays. Brian, it has been just such a pleasure to have you here
man.
today.
Thank you so much.
It's been so awesome. Thank
it's
you
been
so
great.
much.
Thanks for having me. It's
Well,
good
listen,
talk.
thank you so much for allowing us to be part of your journey today. We hope that what we delivered today not only impacted you, but inspired you to go share it with somebody else, right? And so always remember,
Until next time, that
we are rooting for you.